Okay, let's do some maths. Now, reacting masses is the term that's given to these types of calculations where you've got a chemical equation, you know the mass of one something, either a reactant or a product, and you're asked to work out the mass produced of something else. There are 3 steps to the calculation, and there's essentially 4 steps to actually carry out, to actually make sure you succeed. Hopefully you can read this. Yep. Now, first thing we've actually got to do is read the question, look at what information that gives us, and actually add it to our balanced equation. There's ever such a lot of words, and you need to pull all that out, basically. So let's look at this. What do we know in the question? What we've been asked to find out? So we know 1.21 grams of magnesium is reacted with an excess of hydrochloric acid. So that means we have 1.21 grams of magnesium. The excess of hydrochloric acid simply means we've got plenty, we've got more than enough. And it's asking us to work out the mass of magnesium chloride produced. Okay, so write a question mark under that, and we need to know the mass. So if we look at the equation now, it's dead straightforward, we can see it. We've got 1.21 grams of that, and we need to know how much of that is produced. So we've done step 1. Now, step 2, calculate the moles of something using mass and MR. What we should have done at the beginning, before we even started doing anything, was write the equation triangle down that links relative molecular mass, MR, mass and moles, which is relative molecular mass, mass and moles. You can obviously interchange MR and moles in the equation triangle. Okay, I'd always advise writing that down in the margin before you even start an exam question. So, calculate the moles of something using mass and MR. What can we calculate the moles of? If you've got an equation triangle, there's 3 unknowns. If you know 2 of them, you can work out the 3rd one. Now, seemingly we only know the mass, but because of the wonders of the periodic table, we know the MR or AR of every single substance. So what do we know? We know the mass of magnesium. Can we use the periodic table to tell us the MR or AR of magnesium? Well, yeah, we can. There's magnesium. Its MR is simply its relative atomic mass, its AR, which is 24.3, which you might be able to just about make out. So we can move forward because we know the mass of magnesium, we know the MR of magnesium, we can use it to calculate the moles of magnesium. So step 2. It's a bit long-winded, but you need to get in the habit of writing everything out. So just like I'm doing, write out the steps in the calculation. So moles is mass divided by MR. We know the mass is 1.21 grams. The MR from the periodic table is 24.3. MRs are always expressed to 1 decimal place. Please get in the habit of doing that. And if we put the numbers into the calculator, you can check yourself, but I don't know if you can make this out. We've got 1.21 divided by 24.3 is 0.049, oh goodness, right, okay. You can write all that out. What it's easy to do is, as you've been taught, is to actually write it out to 3 significant figures in your workings, but keep the extended answer in your calculator, store it in the memory because you'll all have scientific calculators. So that's 0.05 moles. I've stuck my units in out of habit. So we've done step 2. Step 3, use the stoichiometry, that's the big numbers, remember, to tell you the moles of the unknown. So from the work we've just done before, we know that if we have 1 mole of magnesium, look at the ratio, it's 1 to 1. We'll have 1 mole of magnesium chloride being produced. We haven't got 1 mole, we've got 0.05 of a mole. So let's write it out. The ratio of magnesium to magnesium chloride is 1 to 1. So the moles of MgCl2, magnesium chloride, will be the same as the moles of magnesium. which in this case you've just worked out. 0.0500. Great, that was simple. We're on to step 4. Convert the moles of the unknown. Now our unknown is the thing we're trying to work out, magnesium chloride. So convert the moles of, I've just realised I've wrote that down. Oh no, sorry, ignore me.